We are Farmington. From my left, Patty Bruno. I'm Jack Williams, Danielle Diversary, Kayla DeMay, and Whitney Greenlee. Our sponsor is Mr. Williams.
On the stage, the middle table is designated as the yellow table. Please introduce yourselves.
All right, we're Fayetteville High School, and from the audience's left to right, we have Jordan Marsh, Jacob Honeycutt, me, Albert Shu, Kyle Jang, and Bill Bacon. And our coach is Mr. Magre.
On the far right of the stage is the red table. Please introduce yourselves.
Hello, we are Charlotte Christian, and we have Micah Jones, William Zuborg, myself, Austin Porter, Josh Kortoff, Adam Bychek, and our sponsors, Mr. Breeding.
All right, I'm not going to repeat the overall profile of what ACE is to the audience. I'm hoping that you were listening earlier, and if not, you can follow along by just listening to my prompts as the game goes. We're going to play the first half. There are 7 different categories the questions come from. Each team gets 1 question to answer for themselves, and if they can't get it correct, the other teams can steal. The first half always starts off with current events that are from the newspaper, from the Arkansas Democrat Gazette. It was the dates of November 16th through 20th. I'm in the wrong place. All right, so here we are. Farmington, your current event question. Who is the Belgian Prime Minister who pressed Parliament to pass tough new measures to imprison citizens returning home fighting in Syria and to broaden law enforcement officials' ability to tap phones and detain subjects for 3 days without charges? He is also called for shutting down all websites that advocate jihad and Islamic holy war.
Asamoud?
No.
John?
Your 15 seconds has gone out. We're now ready for a steal, and it was Fayetteville, I guess?
Cuso?
No. And you clear? And Shiloh?
Aussie.
No. So the answer was Charles Michael. No one got points for the first news item. Fayetteville, this is your current event question. Who is the GOP presidential candidate and senator from Florida who has stated that the United States should no longer accept Syrian refugees because it is impossible to know whether they have links to Islamic militants?
Marco Rubio.
That is correct. 4 points for Fayetteville for getting the answer correct the first time. We're now ready for Shiloh Christian's current event question. Who is the former governor of Maryland who, along with Bernie Sanders of Vermont, is supporting reinstating of the Glass-Steagall law, which once separated commercial and investment banking, but was repealed in 1999 under the Clinton administration?
O'Malley.
That is correct. 4 points for Shiloh for getting the first answer correct for current events. All right, good start, Fayetteville and Shiloh. Farmington, the second category from a textbook, a high school textbook for world geography and culture. Here is your question. Where did Maori, I would say, spell it M-A-O-R-I, Maori people of New Zealand originally come from?
Southeast Asia?
No. Speak loudly.
Australia?
No, good try. For the steal, Shiloh.
Malaysia?
No. For the steal, Fayetteville.
Polynesia.
That is correct. 1 point steal, Fayetteville. All right. Fayetteville, this is your world geography and culture question. In New Zealand, what is the local name for cattle and sheep ranchers?
Grazers.
That is correct. 4 points for Fayetteville. And Shiloh, your world geography culture question. Australia gets its name from the Latin term Australis. What does it mean?
Desert,
No.
island,
No.
prison,
No.
kangaroo,
No. And for the steel, Fayetteville.
Human.
No. Australis is the Latin term. And time has expired for everyone. You'll know this one. It's southern. No points for that one. We're now ready for the third category. It is American history from your U.S. history textbook. Farmington, here's your question. What is the term which means the voluntary freeing of enslaved people?
Manumission.
That is correct. 4 points, Farmington. Fayetteville, U.S. history question. What was the name of the system developed by colonial merchants involving a three-way exchange of goods instead of trading directly with England?
Triangular trade.
That is correct. 4 points for Fayetteville. And Shiloh, here is your history question. Many Americans embraced a religious movement during the first half of the 1700s, which stressed individual piety and an emotional union with God. What was the name for this movement?
the Great Awakening.
That is correct. Well done, all teams. All teams earned full points for that category. And the audience should clap. All right. Everyone's on the board. We're now ready for the fourth category of the match. It's literature. 20 short stories were chosen for this year. These questions come from that. Farmington, here is your literature question from the story Cathedral by Raymond Carver. What is ironic and funny about the habit of a blind man listening to a TV at home?
He can tell whether it's a color TV or a black and white.
That is correct. 4 points. He prefers watching it in color. All right. Fayetteville, your literature question. It comes from the story Daughters of the Late Colonel by Catherine Mansfield. Even after Father's death, what street noises caused the sisters to automatically jump to their feet?
Cats?
No?
Clocks?
No?
Cars?
No?
Shouts. Shouts.
No. Good try. The time has expired for the steel, Shiloh.
Lawnmowers.
No. And for the steel, Farmington.
Putting their father at rest.
No. All right. So they jumped to their feet when they heard the organ grinder because his father hated it. All right. No points for the Colonel's story. We're now ready for Shiloh Christian. Your literature story comes from the interview by Ruth Prower. Habvala. What was the reason the narrator got fired from his previous job working in an insurance office?
He didn't give good claims.
No?
He was a bad person.
No.
He didn't do the right stuff.
Little vague. Time has expired for the steel, Farmington.
He made too many mistakes because he thought too much.
I will accept that answer when you added he thought too much. So he would get distracted in his own thoughts and make mistakes in his calculations. So that's a 1 point steal for Farmington. Fifth category is U.S. government. Here is your question, Farmington. How many states had to ratify the new Constitution in order for it to become law of the land?
9?
9 is correct. 4 points for Farmington. Seems like that raised your blood pressure. It's okay. Yellow table, which is Fayetteville. Here is your U.S. government question. What city was the first capital of the United States of America?
Philadelphia.
No. That's not what they have here.
New York.
New York is correct, 3 points for your second answer, Fayetteville. All right, and U.S. government, Shiloh, here is your question. In Marbury versus Madison, the U.S. Supreme Court asserted its power to judge laws and actions as being either constitutional or unconstitutional. That power is called what?
Judicial review.
That is correct, 4 points for Shiloh. Well done. All right, the sixth category is Shakespeare. There were 4 plays chosen for this season. Farmington, your play is Henry IV, Part 1. Who in the noble family thinks he has not been given an equal share of the divided kingdom?
Henry Percy?
No.
The Percys?
All right, I'm going to accept your second answer. It is Percy. His first name is... I'm going to accept it. So I'm just giving you clarification. It's not Henry. It's Harry.
Harry.
3 points for your second answer because I've got it underlined that Percy is an answer. That's interesting. You did say Percy, but when you qualified it as Henry, that made it a wrong answer. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right. Second chance answer, Farmington, 3 points. All right. Fayetteville. In the Shakespeare play, Love's Labor Lost, for whom does Berowyn intend his love letter?
Rosalind.
That is correct. 4 points for your first answer. And Shiloh, Shakespeare, in the play All's Well That Ends Well, who does Bertram attempt to seduce in Florence? Time has elapsed
Diana.
for this. Well, let me identify you for the audience. So for Farmington, who is it?
Diana.
That is correct. 1 point steal, Farmington. Ooh, you're so eager. The seventh subject category of the first half is vocabulary. Name, and this is for Farmington, name the noun meaning flair, flamboyance.
Panache.
Panache is correct. 4 points for Farmington. Fayetteville, your vocabulary question. Name the verb that means to look at amorously.
Ogle.
I'll accept that pronunciation. I would have said it oogle, or ogle's good, I guess. Maybe you're more correct than I am. Good job. 4 points earned by Fayetteville. And Shiloh, here is your vocabulary question. Name the verb meaning expand or grow rapidly. Your 15 seconds has expired. Farmington for the steal.
Mushroom.
Mushroom is correct. 1 point steal, Farmington. All right. We're now into the end of the first half. Each team has selected a subject category to have a repeat question. Farmington has chosen to get an extra geography question. Fayetteville has chosen vocab. And Shiloh Christian has chosen U.S. government. Turning to Farmington, you only get one chance to answer for 4 points this geography question. The word typhoon comes from a word meaning great wind in what language?
Vietnamese.
No. Speak with your big voice. Time has expired for a 2 point steal. Any other team?
Greek.
Shiloh, your light's on?
Greek.
No. Fayetteville, quickly.
Japanese.
No, good try everyone. It's Chinese. It's on page 808. No answer. All right, so we're now ready for Fayetteville's team choice. You chose vocabulary. Name the adjective meaning hateful, vile.
Odious.
Odious is correct. 4 points for Fayetteville. And Shiloh, You chose U.S. government. Your question is, what is the term which refers to private organizations whose members share certain views and objectives and whose work to shape the making of public policy?
Special interest groups.
I'll accept that. 4 points. The reason I was showed caution is you added an extra word to your answer. I've got down interest groups, but I think special interest groups qualifies for full points for Shiloh. All right, we're now ready for the final question of the match. It's a toss-up question. Of the 3 categories remaining that were not chosen by the teams, we get an extra question. I'm choosing the subject of literature. Clear it. And please have your buzzer in hand. The way the points work for this is only one team. If the person who gets it right earns points, 4 points. All right. This is from the short story A Mother's Tale by James Agee. At the start of the story, what visual picture is being described for the Blitz Shiloh?
A countryside?
No. What? Oh, for a Blitz, before I finish reading the whole question, Farmington.
A herd of cattle?
Yes, I'll accept that. 4 points for Farmington for the toss-up question. So I'll finish the question so it makes more sense. There was a visual picture being described by the author that the Cavs interpreted as mysterious and majestic, and they were looking at cattle. All right. We are now at the end of the first half. We have the score. Everyone's doing well. Shiloh Christian has 16, Farmington has 26, and Fayetteville has 28. At this point in this game, we're going to take a short two-minute break and return back to the radio while the teams shift out players for the second half.
America's most innovative off-road vehicles are all on sale during the Polaris Factory Authorized Clearance. Get our biggest rebate ever on Razor XP 1000. Save $1,000 on remaining 2015s while they last. Get our lowest price ever on Ace 4x4. This all-new off-road experience is just $64.99 after rebate. Get the year's best deals during the Polaris Factory Authorized Clearance.
Farmington Schools is currently seeking both full-time and substitute bus drivers. If you or someone you know has their commercial driver's license or would like more information on getting theirs, please contact Transportation Director Jim Hendricks at 479-267-6023. That's 479-267-6023. Farmington Schools is a better way to drive.
Hey there, sports fans. Looking for that perfect bat? Need new football cleats? What about the latest in Razorback apparel? Come find exactly what you need at Best Sports. With 2 convenient locations and friendly customer service, we are your local suppliers of team sports, trophies, monogramming, letter jackets, Under Armour apparel, and much, much more. Locally owned and operated since 1972, let our family help your family. Best Sports, the sports shop for all seasons.
The inspector, the rejecter, the no thank you. Nobody knows picky eaters better than Tyson. That's why we make Tyson Fun Nuggets. Kids love that they're crispy on the outside, juicy on the inside, and shaped like dinosaurs. Moms love that they're made with 100% all-natural ingredients, whole grain breading, and white meat chicken with no added hormones or steroids. Tyson Fun Nuggets, the fun way to a clean plate.
Thanks, Mom!
Hey, guy.
Hey, Mom. Starving. Chips. Hey.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, we're starving. What else do we got here? Crackers. Yo. Oh, I'm starving. Oh, yeah, cookies.
And the constant snacking with Tyson Anytizers Boneless Buffalo Bites.
Yeah.
Made with all white meat, they're the warm, protein-packed way to hold them over until dinner time.
These are awesome.
Also available in these delicious varieties.
Thanks, Mom.
If you would like to advertise during this broadcast, please contact our athletic director.
After a break, to remind you where we left off, we finished the first half, and the score at this time is Shiloh Christian has 16 points, Farmington has 26 points, and Fayetteville has 28. During the break, teams substituted players because there are 7 new categories, and so the teams have experts, and they've switched out. We're now ready to start the second half. Let's have a reintroduction of our teams, starting at the table that's identified as the blue table on my left. Go ahead.
We are Farmington, and from the audience's left to right, we have Coleman Warren, Brandon Conrad, myself, Jeffrey Cutter, Monica Witt, and Chloe Lockridge, and our sponsor is Mr. Williams.
And sitting at the middle table, which is identified as the yellow table, please identify yourselves.
Hey guys, we're Fayetteville, and from my right to left, we have Tatsuya Jahanger, Tony Pirani III. Those side, that's me, Brody Burnett, and Ryan Kim. And our sponsor is Mr. Magri.
And at the far end of the stage, at the red table, please identify yourself.
Hi, we are Shiloh Christian from the audience's left to right. We are Jonathan Curry, William Zuberg, myself, Marshall Richards, Kendall Rees, and Tyler Tollett. And our sponsor is Mr. Breeding.
All right, here we go. Starting the second half set of questions. We're going to start with the current event questions from the sports pages, from the Arkansas Democrat Gazette newspaper, taken from the week of November 16th through the 20th. Farmington, your current event sports question. The Dallas Cowboys recently parted ways with the 32-year-old quarterback who has been with the Cowboys since 2014 and was the primary backup to Tony Romo, who was the quarterback who was released after going 0-4 in games he started when Romeo was injured.
Whedon.
Whedon is correct. 4 points for Farmington. Fayetteville, here is your sports question. Who was the Arkansas State University men's basketball coach who has decided to step down at the end of the season, which is his 8th season in Jonesboro?
Smith.
Nope.
Johnson.
Nope.
Anderson.
No.
Petrino.
Ooh. And so you didn't get your answers correct. We have a chance for a steal from Shiloh Christian.
Mr. Brady.
Brady is correct. 1 point steal, Shiloh. John Brady is the full answer. All right, Shiloh, here is your sports question. Who is the new director of the Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame? She was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2005 after playing at UCA and was a 3-time NAIA All-American.
Johnson.
Yes. 4 points, Shiloh. Terry Johnson. All right. We are now ready for the 11th question of the match. It comes from your textbook, your high school textbook in chemistry. Farmington, here is yours. What relationship among the quantities of reactants and products involved in chemical reactions?
Stoichiometry.
That is correct. 4 points, Farmington. And Fayetteville, your chemistry question. What are the compounds of carbon and hydrogen containing only carbon-carbon single bonds called?
Alkanes.
Alkanes is correct. 4 points for Fayetteville. And Shiloh, here is your chemistry question. The relationship between chemical reactions and, what is the term for the relationship between chemical reactions and energy changes?
Valence electron theory?
No. Time has expired. Farmington for the steal.
Thermochemistry.
Thermochemistry is correct, and you get the 1 point steal. All right. We are now ready for the 12th question of the match. It comes from the textbook Art History. Farmington, here is your art question. What form of art dominated the Renaissance?
Mannerism?
No.
Gothic?
No.
Realism?
No. All right, and for the steel, Fayetteville.
Classical?
No. Interesting. Shiloh.
Hellenistic.
Okay. You all went to a style. The question just asked for what art form, and it's a simple answer. Painting. All right. Well, just for your knowledge, the way the games 1 from 12 have been created, the first game, today's games, 1, 2, and 3, were a little easier questions, not complex, not tricky. Near the end of the season, when we're in the championship games, they will be more complex. All right. So for future answers, you all, just go with the, basic stuff. All right, 8, here it is. Which art form, and this is for Fayetteville, which is easily portable, reached a high point during the early Middle Ages?
Figurines?
No?
Woodcutting?
No.
Fresco?
Good try. And for the steel, Farmington?
Reliefs?
No. Good effort. Shiloh?
Carvings.
Okay, it's easily portable was the key there, and the answer is manuscript illumination. It's in a book. No points for that question. Now we're ready for Shiloh's art question. In what art form were the Romans most accomplished?
Architecture.
4 points for Shiloh. All right, we're now ready for the 13th question of the match. It happens to be mathematics. You have envelopes in front of you. If everyone would pull the blue envelope, open it up, and distribute the strips that have the problems written, I'll now read the problem to the audience. What as a polynomial is a standard form for this equation? Parenthesis, quantity x plus 3 times quantity x minus 2 times quantity x plus 1.
Negative 250.
No. Uh, 60 seconds has expired. Fayetteville for the steel.
X cubed plus 2x squared minus 5x minus 6.
That is correct. That is a standard form, and you get the 1 point steel, Fayetteville. We're now ready for Fayetteville's math question. If you'll pull up the yellow envelope, people at the table, and distribute the problem strips. Here is the problem said out loud. Okay, we now know how it works, and we can talk about that at the challenge. Here is the question for Fayetteville. What is the polynomial in standard form? Quantity x plus 3, quantity x minus 1 times quantity x plus 3. For the radio audience, each team is given 60 seconds to do the calculation. 10 seconds remain. Fayetteville.
X cubed plus 5x squared plus 3x minus 9.
That is correct for the full value of the points given, 4 points to Fayetteville. Do you have a different question in your envelope?
Yeah, it's completely different.
What?
The thing that you said and the thing on the slip don't match up.
It doesn't even have a bearing.
All right, so let's stop and pause. Math is always a difficulty because you have to put things in places, and I did my best to put the slots in. So are we now saying that for the first and the second envelopes that the questions are wrong? Let me look to see if Game 3 was put into Game 1's envelopes. And it is. Game 3 was put into Game 2's envelopes. I'm glad we found this out. We're going to, at the end of the game, you stay put, and I will go gather up a new question, and you, this team right here,
We got both of them right, so...
yeah, we'll have to figure this out, because you listened to me and you got it right, but if the procedure was wrong, everyone's going to be treated the same and we'll get the procedure right. Anyway, we'll make this right. So here we go. I can now go to the right. It was put in the wrong section, but I can find that section, and we can at least get the red team's envelope correct. But I'm going to ask you to confirm that what I have is what you have. That's interesting. Let me see what it looks like. Okay. Each game was similar. That's interesting. That can't be right. Sorry for the audience. Let me see it again. Yes, I have them here. All right, so I now have I can read the question correct for the red team only, and when we come back, we'll consider getting a new question and a new procedure. So here we go. I am now ready to do this correctly. So pull up your red envelope. Open it up, distribute the slips. Here is the question for the audience. In a bracket, it has 7 quantity, 2 plus 3 end of quantity squared minus 10 close bracket divided by open bracket -3 quantity times quantity 2 minus 7 close bracket.
Hmm. 11.
That is correct. So Shiloh gets full credit for their math question. What I'm going to do is ask the coaches to help me make the decision on how to rectify and make it fair for the first 2 tables at the end of the game. All right. I wonder how we're going to do the toss-up. All right. We are now ready for question 14. It is biology, Farmington. Here is your question. What is the term for this ability of a single gene to affect many phenotypic characteristics?
Complete dominance?
That's not what I have.
Dominant allele?
No.
Incomplete dominance?
No. For the steel, Fayetteville?
Dominant effect?
That's not what I have. Shiloh, for the steel?
Phenotype dominance?
No. So I've got a vocabulary word, pleiotropy, P-L-E-I-O-T-R-O-P-Y. No one got that one. Biology, Fayetteville. Here is your question. Animal cells lack rigid cell walls, but most of them secrete and are embedded in a sticky layer of glycoproteins. What is the term for this protective and supporting layer that helps hold tissues together and is used in the regulation of some cellular activities?
Cell membrane.
No.
Phospholipid bilayer.
No.
The cytoskeleton.
That's not what they have here for the steel, Shiloh.
Plasma membrane.
That's not what they have here. Farmington for the steel.
Capsule.
No, the answer is extracellular matrix, found on page 66. All right, Red, let's see if we can get something out of this biology question. Shiloh, what is the process called that is used to detect genetic abnormalities prior to birth by collecting fetal cells between weeks 14 and 20 in a pregnancy? In this procedure, a physician inserts a needle into the mother's uterus and extracts about 10 milliliters of fluid that surround the developing fetus. Time has expired for Shiloh. Farmington, can you steal?
Amniocentesis.
That is correct. 1 point, steal, Farmington. All right, let's get back on track. This is question 15 for the match. It comes from the physics. What area of physics deals with the subjects of heat and temperature?
Thermodynamics.
That is correct. 4 points for Farmington. All right, Fayetteville. When a ball is thrown vertically upward, what is the velocity when it reaches its maximum height?
0.
Yes, 4 points for Fayetteville. And here is Shiloh's physics question. What term represents the magnitude of a velocity vector?
Meters per second?
No?
Speed.
Yes. The second answer is worth 3 points for Shiloh. We're now ready for world history question. Farmington, here's yours. What is the name of the term for the concept that nations should have more or less equal military strength in order to prevent war?
Military draft idol.
No. Your time has expired. Fayetteville, can you steal?
Preventionism?
No. Shiloh, what do you think?
Disarmament?
No. The term or the concept is balance of power. We're now ready for world history, Fayetteville. Which European country allied itself most strongly with the American colonies in the American Revolutionary War?
France.
France, 4 points for Fayetteville. Shiloh, what is the term for money that is used to invest in business activities?
Capital.
Capital is 4 points for Shiloh. All right, what I need for one of you to do is get the math envelope and let's look inside. All right, we are now ready to do the team choice. Every team got to pick a category they would like to have a second chance at. Farmington picked chemistry. Fayetteville picked physics. Shiloh Christian picked math. And we're now ready for the chemistry question for Farmington. Just need to, yeah. Are you ready? Chemistry. Remember, you only get one chance for 4 points, and the steel's worth 2. In thermodynamics, what is the portion of the universe that we single out for study?
System.
System is correct for 4 points. Fayetteville, you chose physics. Your question, your team choice question is, what is the value for free fall acceleration on Earth's surface used in your reference book?
(9.8 meters per second squared).
I'm going to accept that. It could have been more precise. 0.8. What? What? Oh, it is. There is a negative sign. All right. You got it wrong. But I'm going to get another question from my physics book, and the other team can do a steal. All right, from the reserves. It's going to be a toss-up, but only for Shiloh and Farmington. Is that correct? No, we don't need a timer for that. You need to make it an even. All right. So, for 2 teams remaining. Imagine an astronaut in space at the midpoint between 2 stars of equal mass. If all other objects are infinitely far away, what is the weight of the Farmington?
0.
Yes, 0. 2-point steal for the physics question. And I'm running into some difficulties here, and I apologize. All right, we're now ready for the final question of the match, and it's the toss-up from the 3 remaining categories that were not picked. What? Oh, I'm jumping ahead too fast. Thank you. So, math. I know. I got to find out where I've got it located in my book. I'm going to do this. Hand out those, please. I need to, well, look inside real quick and see if it matches what I have. Good. All right. We're going to give you another envelope, and we'll be back on track. Oh, boy. All right, so the way this works is there will be a 60-second time limit, but the first team to buzz in and get the, this is Shiloh's question to get correct, and you get 1 shot at it. If they are unable to get it correct, the other teams can buzz in for a 2-point steal. All right, open up your envelopes. It has the question, distribute the strips. Here is the question for the audience. Describe the end behavior for the equation y equals 4x squared. The answer has 2 parts, and both must be answered correctly.
As x approaches both negative infinity and infinity, y approaches infinity.
No.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
I didn't hear that. All right, so I'm getting clarification. I didn't hear what I thought was a key word. Would you repeat your answer?
As x approaches infinity and negative infinity, y approaches infinity.
I'll accept that. I've got the word positive, but it's inferred when you say, when you don't define it as negative. All right, 4 points for Shiloh for their math question. All right. I hope we're done with hiccups. We are now ready for the toss-up. The current score is very close. Shiloh Christian with 40. Fayetteville has 45. Farmington has 46. It's very nice to see that all teams are scoring well in this first match. The toss-up is going to be world history. Have your buzzers in hand. The team that gets it right earns 4 points. Here's the question. What name did Japanese Emperor Mutsushitio and Shiloh, what do you think?
Meiji.
That is correct. 4 points for Shiloh Christian. All right. That is the end of the match, but we have to replay. I want to have the coaches meet me right now, and I don't know what to do with the radio. We're going to take like a 2-minute break for us to determine what fair way to rectify the math envelopes being with the wrong group. Let's do all the coaches.
At 479-266-1806.
Go Cards!
In Arkansas, over 600 cars a day illegally pass a school bus, putting lives at risk. So Everett is joining with area schools to promote the Flashing Red Kids Ahead school bus safety program. Always stop when you see the flashing red lights of a school bus. Children's lives depend on it. And report drivers to the police if they don't stop. School bus safety is everyone's responsibility. Remember, flashing red, kids ahead.
Everybody knows how good Louisiana food is. For us, it's a way of life. We call it Creole. Creole is the melting pot of cultures, music, and great food. Salt and pepper? No way. On whatever you cook or whatever you eat, use Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning. Trust me, I know Creole. And this is the real deal.
Oh yeah, Tony Chachere
Makes everything taste great.
Williams Tractor is a proud supporter of Farmington High School, academics, and athletics, and wishes all Farmington teams a successful season. Williams Tractor carries over 120 different lines of equipment and knows that tradition is as important on the field as it is in serving our customers. Good luck to all competitors and coaches. Williams Tractor would like to thank Farmington and the surrounding communities for their business and is proud to have served our customers since 1973.
Things are changing in kitchens everywhere.
Tony Chachere's.
People are replacing salt and pepper on everything they eat.
Tony Chachere's.
Oh yeah, no more salt and pepper.
Tony Chachere's.
Tony Chachere's famous Creole seasoning brings out the flavor in all your favorite foods.
Tony Chachere's.
Oh yeah, so put a little Creole in your kitchen. Tony Chachere's makes everything taste great.
We came to Arvest Bank to see what makes it different.
I love the app.
I use it to deposit checks,
Snap the pictures, enter a few things,
and then you just deposit.
It's that easy?
It's that easy?
It's so easy to use, my dad can do it.
What's the most unusual place you've used the mobile app?
On top of a mountain in a snow cave in Vail, Colorado.
While I was waiting in the drive-thru.
The deer woods.
Church.
Arvest Bank. Our customers say it best.
Yeah. We're just gonna go stay.
It's so baffled that we got that Johnson one, right?
Yeah.
The Johnson.
Attention students, have you found a place to live yet? Don't move into high-rise, high-cost student living. Live somewhere comfortable, affordable, on the bus route, and close to everything you need. It's all at Mad Sky Rentals. 95% of apartments are rented in Fayetteville, so Mad Sky's places are going fast. Call today at 251-9403. 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms available. 251-9403 or online at madskyrentals.com.
Where do you go when you want a bundle that includes DirecTV and high-speed internet? You want it packed?
Microphone, all right. We weren't very quiet, and almost everyone could have eavesdropped. but I'm going to repeat what happened. So a simple mistake, the envelopes that I passed out didn't match the question that I had in my book. It was figured out. And the coaches have agreed. Farmington was, I read a question that they did not have. They got the envelopes, they did the calculations, they said negative 250. I found the correct question, and that was a correct response. So the coaches and I have agreed that Farmington has earned 4 points for their first right answer. Fayetteville got a question. What I read out loud did not match what they had in the envelopes. Well, because they were the second team to go, they realized that they needed to listen to me. They listened to the question I read out loud, ignored the question in the envelope, and they got it correct. 4 points. Shiloh got a question. I went in and found the right envelope, gave the right question. This time my words and the envelopes matched. They got it correct. 4 points. For that category, every team got full value. Now, when I made the mistake, the scorekeeper thought that Fayetteville got a bounce back. So we're going to, a steal. That now is going to be eliminated. So the score will reflect 4 points have been added to 2 teams. 1 point has been removed from Fayetteville. And I'm hoping this is correct.
Wait, what?
That the final match, the final score for the match, Fayetteville and Shiloh Christian tied with 44 and Farmington won with 50. I want to remind you that there was not a first, second, and third place. These scores will be averaged to determine who goes to the championship. So the great news is those are very high scores to start the season. Well done, 3 teams. All right. We still have 1 match to play. The procedure now will be, if there's going to be a challenge, it needs to be done quickly so that it can be resolved quickly. We're going to take something like 15 or 20-minute break for that to happen, and then we will reconvene for the third game of the day. I hope that's all clear.